news analysis dated September 6, 2023, dated here. Here are the list of news articles. I am going to cover important news articles from the Hindu newspaper dated September 6, 2023. Displayed here is a list of news articles that we will be discussing today. You can go through it. At the end of the video, we will have the prelims practice questions discussion, so try to watch the entire video. And a kind request to you all, those who haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, do subscribe and hit the bell icon button so that you get regular notifications about our current affairs videos. Now let us get into our first news article discussion. Look at this news article. The news article says that the Tamil Nadu Health Minister has demanded funding from central government under the National Ayush Mission. The minister noted that the funding would help the Tamil Nadu government to promote Ayush medical system across the state. Okay, this is all about the news. Now in this context, let us learn few points about National Ayush Mission. The National Ayush Mission was launched in year 2014. It's a flagship scheme under the Ministry of Ayush. Note that the National Ayush Mission is a centrally sponsored scheme. This means that the funds for this scheme are shared between the center and states. Okay, now coming to the objectives of the national mission. The main objective of this mission is to promote Ayush medical systems. Here Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani and Siddha and Homeopathy. See, these 6 main Indian systems of medicine, they are practiced in India, in some of the neighboring Asian countries. So the National Ayush aims to promote this 6 Indian system of medicines. Apart from this mission also aims to increase the availability and accessibility of Ayush healthcare services across the country, and this is done through establishing a network of Ayush health wellness centers. Okay, now talking about the components of National Ayush Mission. See, the National Ayush Mission has 4 main components. The first component aims to ensure the availability of the cost-effective and affordable service to the people of India, and the second component aims to strengthen the Ayush educational systems and to create equality, Ayush Ayush workforce, and this is done by upgrading the Ayush educational in institutions. The third component aims to impose quality control of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and Homeopathy drugs. It also aims to increase the reliability of Ayush practitioners. This is done by upgrading the state government Ayush drug testing laboratory and Ayush enforcement mechanisms. Okay, and the final component aims to ensure the sustainable availability of Ayush raw material, Siddha, Unani, Homeopathy raw materials. This is done by adopting good agricultural practices, as most of the drugs are manufactured using agri products. The good agricultural practices will help to ensure the sustainable availability of raw materials. Okay, so these are the 4 components under National Ayush Mission. By working on these 4 components, the Ministry of Ayush aims to promote the Ayush medical systems in our country. Okay, now having seen the important points about National Ayush Mission, now let us see a few points about Ayush Health and Wellness Centers. Ayush Health and Wellness Centers would be operationalized under the broad umbrella of National Ayush Mission. The centers are operated in a mode of centrally sponsored scheme. That is, Ayush Health and Wellness Centers are funded by both center and states. See, through the Ayush Health and Wellness Centers, the government aims to achieve 3 things. Firstly, the government aims to reduce the disease burden through ensure holistic well-being, and to reduce the out-of-pocket expenditure through Ayush Health and Wellness Center. And finally, through the center, the government aims to an alternate treatment options for Indian citizens. Okay, these are all the objectives that the government aims to achieve through Ayush Health and Wellness Centers. And note that by 2024, the Ministry of Ayush aims to operationalize over 12,500 Ayush Health and Wellness Centers all over the country. Okay, that's all regarding this discussion. In this discussion, we saw some points about National Ayush Mission, then about the objectives of the National Ayush Mission, and then we saw about the components of National Ayush Mission, and finally we saw some points about Ayush Health and Wellness Center. See, this topic is very much important for your prelims exam. So revise all the facts that we discussed now. With these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this news editorial article. Recently, a petition was filed by a person in Kerala High Court regarding encroachment in the statement of Munnar, hill stations of Munnar. See, the Munnar is located in Idukki district of Kerala. In responding to Idukki district of Kerala, in responding to a petition, the district collector of Idukki mentioned to the Kerala High Court that 326 land encroachment have been identified in Munnar. The petitioner also requested the appointment of a special officer to act against encroachment. So the Kerala High Court asked the views of the state government regarding this appointment. Apart from this, Kerala High Court also asked the views of the union government regarding the assessment of the carrying capacity of the southern hill stations. See, last month the Supreme Court bench headed by Chief Justice of India suggested to constitute an expert committee to conduct a complete and comprehensive study on the carrying capacity of the in region. Following this, central government has proposed setting up of 13-member technical committee to study the carrying capacity of Highland region. Now coming back to the case in the Kerala High Court, see the Kerala High Court whether the expertise of technical committee that has been proposed by the central government that can be used to access the carrying capacity of hill stations of Kerala. Okay, this is about the news article. Now in this discussion we will see what is carrying capacity and the impacts of exceeding the carrying capacity. Now let us start with the carrying capacity. See, carrying capacity is a concept that is mainly used in environmental science. It is mainly used to understand the relationship between the population of an organism and resource available in the habitat. Such organisms occupies the carrying capacity refers to the maximum population size that an environment or ecosystem can suitably support over a specific period of time. So basically carrying capacity refers to the number of people, animals or crops which a region can support without environmental degradation. The carrying capacity depends on various factors including availability of food, water, shelter and other resources, and it also depends upon the environmental conditions such as climate and the ability of the ecosystem to absorb waste and maintain its stability. For example, the carrying capacity of alpines of Uttar Pradesh is higher than carrying capacity of Siberian tundra. Okay, now having seen what is carrying capacity, the factors influencing carrying capacity, now let us see the impacts of exceeding the carrying capacity. The first impact is resource depletion. See, if the population exists the carrying capacity for a longer period of time, the resource may be depleted. That is, the resource like food, water, shelter will become scarce, and this leads to increased competition among the individual for access to these resources, which potentially causes stress, malnutrition and even death due to resource shortage. For example, let us take a Lake Chad. See, Lake Chad is located in Central Africa. It is a prime example of a region where the carrying capacity has been exceeded. See, the Chad Lake has historically been a vital source of water for millions of people in Chad, Cameroon and Niger. However, due to combination of factors including population growth or extraction of water for irrigation, the deforestation and prolonged droughts, the water level of Lake Chad has significantly decreased over the decades. This has affected the resource availability around the Lake Chad. This has affected the resource availability due to reduced resource availability. Various nations are fighting over the leftover resources. So the resource depletion is one of the main impact of exceeding the carrying capacity. Then the next impact of exceeding the carrying capacity is habitat degradation. See, when carrying capacity exceeded the available resources, it will be depleted at a rapid pace. This can reduce the overall health and diversity of the ecosystem. For example, let us take Mount Everest. See, Mount Everest has faced a problem related to overcrowding and overuse by climbers. So large number of climbers during the climbing season have led to a trash build-up, leading safety concerns and environmental degradation. Okay, so habitat degradation is another impact of exceeding the carrying capacity. Then the next impact is spread of diseases. See, in the some cases exceeding carrying capacity has also lead to spread of diseases. For example, let us take a bats. See, during hibernation, the bat seeks a shelter in caves and mines, which forms a large colonies. When the number of bats in a hibernation exits, the carrying capacity of the cave, it becomes overcrowded. This results in the easy transmission of fungi called the white nose syndrome fungus. See, the white nose syndrome is a fungal disease that affects the hibernating bats, particularly in North America. So spread of disease is also one of the impact of exceeding carrying capacity. And lastly, exceeding carrying capacity can sometimes lead to population crash. Here population crash is a sudden sharp reduction in the size of the population. For example, let us take Easter Island. This island is located in the South Pacific. Historically, Easter Island was inhabited by a population. They relied on islands. Limited natural resources for their livelihood, including for timbers, agriculture for food, fishing for sustenance. As a population grew, the demand for resources increased, which led to the deforestation, soil erosion, and depletion of fish stocks. Due to this, the carrying capacity of the island was exceeded. This resulted in food shortages, warfare, and social unrest. Due to this, population of Eastern Island faced a very sharp decline. So this is an example of how exceeding carrying capacity can lead to population crash. And that's all regarding this discussion. This discussion we saw what is carrying capacity, then the impacts of exceeding carrying capacity, and now these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this article from the text and context page. This article discusses about the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. The article also further discusses about the implications of the Amendments Act on northeastern states like Assam, Nagaland, and see, this topic appeared in news because recently this Assam State Assembly passed a resolution against Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. So in this discussion, we will see why northeastern states are opposing the Amendment Act and what are all the important issues associated with the Amendment Act 2023. Okay, now let us see some basics about Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. See, the main objective of this Amendment Act is to achieve India's goal of net zero emission by 2070. So in order to achieve this goal, the Amendment Act promises to create a carbon sink, then to increase the forest cover, and to improve the livelihood of the forest communities. Okay, these are all the main objectives of the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. But there are three important issues associated with the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. Let us see the issues one by one. First issue is that the 2023 Amendment Act introduces a narrow definitions of forest. As per the amendment, the Act definition of forest only includes the forests that are notified in the government records, and it does not include other forest regions. So this change in definition could potentially impact around 28% of India's forest cover. This is because many forest lands in India are just fruit orchards and plantations. They are not usually recorded as forest in government records. See, these forests can be impacted due to the narrowing down of definition of forests. Okay, for example, let us imagine there is a forest land in Nagaland which is not recorded as forest by government, but this forest has been protected by indigenous tribes for centuries. However, as per the new Amendment Act, the government is free to allow the destruction of these forests for construction and development. So this is the first problem. Then the second issue is that Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023 allows for the strategic infrastructure development within the 100 km of international borders without getting any forest clearances. This means that the forest within the 100 km of international borders can be cleared for developmental projects without any checks and balances. So this is a concern for states like Assam, Mizoram, because most of the forest lands falls within the 100 km of international border. This is the second issue. Thirdly, FSC Conservation Act 2023 allows the construction of zoos, safari parks, and ecotourism facilities in forest land without getting any of the forest clearances from the government. So these are the important issues with the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. Now moving on to see why northeastern states are opposing the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. See, Mizoram and Nagaland have opposed this act because act allows the diversion of forest land near the international borders for developmental projects. Now know that Nagaland and Mizoram have special constitutional provisions under Article 371A and 371G respectively. These provisions prevent the Parliament from imposing the law. that affects the traditional customs, land ownership and resources of the Mizoram and Nagaland. In simple words, the state government of Mizoram and Nagaland have the power to decide whether any parliamentary law should be enforced in their states or not. So based on these constitutional provisions, recently Mizoram State Assembly passed a resolution against the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. In addition to this, Nagaland Assembly also decided to pass a resolution against the act. See, states like Tripura and Sikkim have already opposed 100-kilometer exemption clause in Amendment Act. Okay. Now coming to the problem with recorded forest area. See, the recorded forest area comprises both the notified and unclassified forest, which means the forest lands that are not officially classified as forest are also part of recorded forest areas. And note that more than half of the geographical area of the northeastern areas comes under the recorded forest area. Under the new amendment only considers the forest area that are recorded by the government, so this leads to an exploitation of most of the forest cover in the northeastern region. Okay, from these points we can understand why northeastern states are opposing the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. So the author concludes the article by suggesting some ways to strengthen forest protection. Firstly, the author says that the government should ensure the consent of Gram Sabha before diverting any forest land. Secondly, the author suggests that the Ministry of Tribal Affairs should play a role in recognizing and settling forest rights. In addition to this, ministry should legally enforce the provisions of Forest Rights Act 2006 in northeastern states to protect the forest tribal community. Okay, these are also some solutions suggested by editorial author. By that's all regarding the discussion. This discussion we saw about the issues associated with the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023, and we saw about the why the northeastern states are opposing the Amendment Act. Now with these points in mind, let us move on into the next news article discussion. Look at this news article. According to this news article, BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards, has made ISIA mark mandatory for certain products. The products include reusable water bottles and utensils made of various materials like copper, stainless steel and aluminium. The BIS has made ISI mark mandatory to ensure the quality of these products. Okay, this is all about the news article. Now in this context, let us learn some points about ISI mark. You might have noticed this image in various products. This is the ISI mark. Here ISI stands for Indian Standard Institute. ISI was formed post-independence to ensure the standard of products in India. The ISI was renamed as Bureau of Indian Standards in 1986. Currently, ISI mark is issued by the Bureau of Indian Standards. It is issued mainly for industrial products. Okay, this is okay. ISI mark certifies that a product conforms to the Indian standards. See, in the image here it is mentioned as is 8034. So if any product has this mark, the particular product conforms to 8034 standard. Okay, now is the ISI mark mandatory. Basically, the ISI certification program is voluntary in nature. See, if any manufacturer who feels confidence enough that this product has ability to meet the BIS standard, then he can apply for product certification. Although the scheme itself is voluntary in nature, the government of India, on consideration of public health and safety, it has enforced the compulsory certification on various products through orders issued from time to time under various acts. This means that the government of India can make certification mandatory for certain products. Till now 21 products standards have been made mandatory considering public health and safety, and others have made voluntary. So far those 21 mandatory products, consumers shouldn't buy if it does not have the ISI mark. For example, the food related products should have ISI mark. So you can have take any packaged drinking water and check whether it has the 14543 marking or not. If the packaged drinking water does not have this marking, if it is not safer to consume. Okay. Also note that to prevent ISI mark holders from slipping away from these standards, the BSI can make surprise visit to the factories to inspect the quality of the product. Apart from this, BSI can also pull a product from the market. It can inspect its quality. Okay. In addition to this, to ensure the quality of the product, BSI can prosecute manufacturers from misusing the ISI mark. That is, BSI can prosecute the manufacturers if they use the ISI mark in their products without getting the actual certification from BIS. Okay, see, people can also make complaints to BIS regarding the misuse of ISI mark. Now, if there is any punishment to those who are misusing this ISI mark, see, misuse of this ISI mark is punishable with the imprisonment of up to 2 years, or fine of minimum rupees 2 lakh has been imposed on the offenders, and both punishment and fine also imposed. See, these penal provisions are provided in the Act 2016, BSI Act 2016. Okay, that's all regarding this discussion. In this discussion, we saw various aspects of ISI mark. Now, with this points in mind, let us move on into the next news article. Look at this news article. Yesterday, the Karnataka High Court has permitted the Kannada actor to go ahead with the construction of a farmhouse on his land that falls under the eco-sensitive zone of the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. That is about the news article. Now, in this discussion, let us see some points about Bandipur Tiger Reserve. The Bandipur Tiger Reserve was formed in 1973. The Tiger Reserve is spread across the 2 revenue districts of southern Karnataka, namely the Mysore and Chamnagar district. More importantly, the Tiger Reserve is located in the tri-junctions areas of the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And note that Bandipur Tiger Reserve forms a part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Also, it is a part of the Western Ghats tiger landscape that consists of a Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, Nagarkol Tiger Reserve, and the Varat. It's Nagarkol and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, this is the basic information about Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Now, talking about the flora and fauna of Bandipur Tiger Reserve. See, the most famous residence of Bandipur Tiger Reserve is the Tiger Reserve also has some houses that have endangered Asiatic wild elephant. Apart from this, some species like sloth bear, Indian rock pythons, jackals, mugos, four-horned antelopes, sambar, mouse deer, seal, sloth bear, and rare flying lizards are also spotted in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Note that sambar, mouse deer, cheetal, sloth bear, rare flying lizard are also spotted in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Note that Bandipur Tiger Reserve is also over 200 species of birds. Okay, this is all about the fauna. Now, looking at the flora, see, the Bandipur Tiger Reserve supports a wide range of flora. The trees like teak, rosewood, sandalwood, Indian laurel, Indian kinno tree, etc. are found in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Now, talking about the rivers that flow through the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, see, the prominent rivers that flow through the Tiger Reserve are Moyar River and the Nugu River. That's all. This discussion we saw about the various aspects of Bandipur Tiger Reserve. These points in mind, let us move on into the next part of the video. That the prelims practice question. Today we have 3 prelims practice question. We will solve 2 questions and one will be a quiz question for you. Look at the first question. Here 4 factors are given. We have to find how many of the factor influence the carrying capacity of a region. See, carrying capacity refers to the maximum population size that an environment or ecosystem can sustainably support or a specific period of time. Now, coming to the question, climate, vegetation, water resource, inter and intra-species competition. See, all these factors influence the carrying capacity of a region. So, the correct answer for this question is option D. All 4. Moving on to the second question. This question is regarding a scheme named Ayush. Now look at the 4th statement. It is implemented by the Ministry of Ayush. See, the statement is correct. This particular scheme is implemented by the Ministry of Ayush. Now coming to the second statement, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. See, the statement is incorrect because this scheme is a center sector scheme. The scheme is fully funded by central government and it is not centrally sponsored scheme. So second statement is incorrect. Now coming to the third statement, Through this, ministry aims to enhance India's manufacturing capability and efforts of traditional medicines and health promotion products. And see, the statement is correct. It is the main aim of the scheme. Through the scheme, the Ministry of Ayush aims to enhance the manufacturing and export of capability of traditional medicines and health products. Okay, since only two answers are for the statements are correct, answer is option B. Moving on to the question further, I post your answers in the comment section. Try to answer it. An answer for the question will be provided in the comment section itself. You can verify answers. And displayed here is a mains question. Write your mains answers and post it in the comment section. With this, we have come to the end of the video. If you found our video to be useful, do like, comment and share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to UPSC IAS YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.